Welcome back to the High Impact Flicks channel. Now, you thought you heard it all, but you haven't, and you should probably fasten your seatbelts because there's no doubt more of this is planned for our future by the psychopaths who possess the Ring of Power.
I wish to raise a matter this afternoon for the attention of the Minister for Education, and I have to say it is not often in this job. I am absolutely shocked. I thought I'd seen everything, but this one is just beyond words. It is a note from a constituent who says, "Hi Bernie, this is a worksheet that my 10-year-old daughter brought home from school," and it includes a photo of the worksheet. "Part of her homework was to discuss with her father his erections and ejaculation. I find this very disturbing and sickening, as indeed do I have to say. I have complained to the school and was told it was just part of the curriculum. Can you advise who else I should make a complaint to?" Well, I could go on for days who she could complain to. "My daughter still plays with dolls and writes letters to the Tooth Fairy. There is no way any little girl should be told to ask these questions." Well, so say all of us. What the hell is going on in this state when 10-year-old girls are told to go home and talk to your father about his erections and about his ejaculations? What the hell is going on here? How the hell are we supposed to protect our kids when this sort of perversion is in our schools? This is what is being dished up to them on a daily basis in a primary school, not even a secondary school, a primary school. This is just unbelievable. It's staggering. I could not imagine the reaction. I have 3 daughters. I could not imagine the reaction of any of them if they were told to do that. They would be traumatised for life. I don't think they'd ever recover. I'm not sure I'd ever recover. This is just deplorable.
Do yourself a favor right now, click on the link in the description, grab my code, and get a massive discount on this ultra bright rechargeable survival flashlight. You can hang it on any metal surface, it's durable, the charge lasts forever, you don't need batteries because it's powered by the sun or with a wall outlet. You can use it to charge your cell phone from 0 to 100%. It's got multiple emergency flashing modes plus a shop light function. There's a glass breaker, a seatbelt cutter, a compass, and an emergency siren. Guys, this thing is frickin' bright. Grab one while you can. The link's in the description. Little Brian Stelter, his rotund Michelin body ironically sitting beneath a banner which reads, "Disinformation and the Erosion of Democracy," was put on blast by a college freshman who called Stelter and his network out for spreading just as much misinformation as their Fox News psychological operations counterparts. The kid even goes so far as to provide a very short list of the misinformation CNN has been involved in propagating.
Hi, thank you for coming. My name is Christopher Phillips. I'm a first year at the college. My question is for Mr. Stelter. You've all spoken extensively about Fox News being a purveyor of disinformation, but CNN is right up there with them. They pushed the Russian collusion hoax. They pushed the Jussie Smollett hoax. They smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist, and they also smeared Nick Sandmann as a white supremacist. And yes, they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media, and CNN in particular, seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean,
Brian.
there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch. But I understand that that is a popular right-wing narrative about CNN. I think it's important when we talk about shared reality and democracy, all these networks, all these news outlets have to defend democracy. And when they screw up, admit it. But when Benjamin Hall, the Fox correspondent, was wounded in Ukraine, The news crews at CNN and the New York Times stopped what they were doing, and they tried to help. They tried to help him get out of the country. They tried to find the dead crew members. That's what news outlets do. That's how they actually do work together, to your question about sharing those kinds of connections and trust. We don't talk about it enough, though. We don't share that reality about how that happens. And with regards to the regime, I think you mean President Biden. The last time I spoke with a Biden aide, we yelled at each other. So that's the reality of the news business that people don't see, that people don't hear. They imagine that it's a situation that it simply is not. But I think your question, it speaks to the failure of journalism to show our work and show the reality of how our profession operates. We have a lot of work to do, I think.
So rather than be honest, the unreliable sources host deflects by saying the kid is describing a different channel than he watches and dismisses the whole thing by stating that the facts the kid laid down are merely, quote, popular right-wing narratives. The fact that CNN's mountains of misinformation and biased journalism exist to be called a narrative at all reveals just how dishonest these people actually are. Stelter also stated that all these networks need to defend democracy, which is another misnomer that every network employs. Democracy is mob or majority rule, where 51% of the people attempt to violently rule over the other 49%. And rather than answer the kid's question, Stelter attempts to virtue signal by citing some story about a wounded reporter named Benjamin Hall in Ukraine and how all the networks got together to help this guy. How about all the networks getting together and start reporting the truth? But they won't do that because they're CIA-infiltrated Mockingbird media. They're only there to distract, deceive, demoralize, dehumanize, and divide the rest of us. In a different segment of the same conference, another freshman asked Atlantic staff writer Ann Applebaum a question about the initial inappropriate dismissal of the contents on Hunter Biden's laptop. Check out this lame answer.
Let's take a...
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it. I'm Daniel Schmidt. I'm a freshman at the University of Chicago. My question is for Ms. Applebaum. So in 2020, you wrote, those who live outside the Fox News bubble do not, of course, need to learn any of the stuff about Hunter Biden, referring to his laptop, of course. A poll later after that found that if voters knew about the content of the laptop, 16% of Joe Biden voters would have acted differently. Now, of course, we know a few weeks ago, the New York Times confirmed that the content is real. Do you think the media acted inappropriately when they instantly dismissed Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation? And what can we learn from that in ensuring that what we label as disinformation is truly disinformation and not reality?
I mean, my problem with Hunter Biden's laptop is I think totally irrelevant. I mean, it's not whether it's disinformation or, I mean, I don't think the Hunter Biden's business relationships have anything to do with who should be president of the United States. So I don't find it to be interesting. I mean, that would be my problem with that as a major news story.
We're going to talk about more of this tomorrow in our first panel, so stand by. And I think we have run out of time.
Of course you've run out of time. So according to Ms. Applebaum, the contents on the laptop of the son of the former vice president and current president of the United States and his shady business relationships shouldn't have anything to do with who sits in the White House. And she doesn't find the possible funneling of taxpayer money to foreign entities, not to mention all the perverted crap Hunter seems to be involved in. She doesn't find that to be interesting or newsworthy at all. And lastly, just in case you don't know, Ketanji, I can't define woman because I'm not a biologist, Brown Jackson.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
Has been confirmed as a black-robed tyrant of the Supreme Court, where she's free to misinterpret the Constitution like the rest of her freedom-snatching colleagues. Here's what that ridiculous stage show looked like.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed. Under the previous order, the motion to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table, and the President will immediately be notified of the Senate's action.
Madam President, very happily, I note the absence of a quorum.
Guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and my backup channels, Grease Monkey Videos, and Here's the Deal. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. It might be a good idea while you still can to convert your fiat currency notes into long-term storable food. Use my link in the description and get $100 off instantly for this survival food. Do it while you still can because, guys, I cannot guarantee that they're going to have this available in the future.